Hi, it's Kara Ruda.
Mary Kabika.
And Heather Goodenkoff.
And can you tell us about your most recent titles?
Best day ever.
Do you want to hear more about it? Or just the title?
Oh, sorry. Okay, it's called Best Day Ever, and it's domestic suspense. It's the story of Paul Strom and his lovely wife Mia, and they've been, not together so much as a couple, so they drop their kids off with a babysitter, and they're taking a romantic weekend, and things might not be as perfect as they seem. Moi, moi.
Every Last Lie, and it's a story of a young father who gets killed in a car crash, and it's just ruled an accident that he was going too fast, took a sharp turn too quickly, and went off the road. He's got his 4-year-old daughter in the back seat. She's fine, but in the coming days, she starts having nightmares about another car being on the road with the two of them that afternoon and starts speaking about a bad man. So the man's widow sets off to find his killer.
And mine is Not a Sound, and it's the story of Amelia Wynn, who is deafened by an accident and kind of goes into this self-imposed exile. And we meet her 2 years later when she is paddleboarding down the river with her service dog, Stitch. They make a grisly discovery and are pulled into a mystery that could threaten both their lives.
Now I'm going to ask you some fun questions.
Okay.
We're ready.
Okay. What's the first book you read that left a big impact on you?
Make Way for Ducklings, Robert McCloskey.
The Eyes of the Amaryllis, Natalie Babbitt.
Ferdinand the Bull. I love that book.
Yeah.
Just want to smell the roses.
And like Paper Bag Princess. Did you guys ever read that? I love that.
Okay, what's one book that you can read over and over and over again?
The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien.
My Antonia by Willa Cather. I read it every year, and I collect as many editions of it as I possibly can.
Eudora Welty's on writing, and I don't know if that's the right title, but I love her writing, and so I'll read that.
Thank you.
Come next to me so that we can put Jack in the middle. It's fine. Even though we're writing together.
All right. Hi, we're so happy to have you here on our Facebook Live broadcast. Can you just introduce yourselves for us?
I'm Valerie Constantine, and I am half of Liv Constantine, and here's the other half.
Hi, I'm Lynn Constantine, and we're so happy to be here too. I'm going to pass it over to Jack.
I'm Jack Soren. I'm a thriller writer with Witness Impulse.
And can you tell us about your most recent title and why readers should check it out?
So our most recent book is The Last Mrs. Parrish, coming out this Tuesday, or the 17th. And if you like stories about devious women trying to worm their way into the lives of another woman in order to take it over, you should check it out. There's lots of twists and turns, and it's a really fun read. And I'll let Valerie add a few. Why should they read The Last Mrs. Parrish?
Why? Because it's been picked by Publishers Weekly as a pick of the week. Library Journal is a pick of the month for October. So we're really excited, and I think you'd love it. So check it out.
My most recent book is a second book in the series called The Tomorrow Heist, and it's about two ex-art thieves who are now stealing from people who have already stolen art and returning it where it belongs. And hijinks ensue because nothing ever goes right. And you should read it because I'm very, very poor.
And one last question. Where's your favorite place to find new reading recommendations?
My favorite place is my friends. I'm always asking, what are you reading? And that's usually, I'll run out and buy the book that they tell me that I have to read.
Goodreads, Reddit's good for recommendations, and Bouchercon is amazing for recommendations.
I second friends, absolutely. Book clubs and reviews. I love reading good reviews, too, about books I have no idea about, that I hadn't heard of, and then I get a great review, and it's like, got to buy that one.
Thank you all so much.
Can we get you onto our Facebook Live?
Absolutely.
All right. We're so excited to have you here tonight. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, I'm JT Ellison. Nice to see you.
And what's your most recent title that readers should check out?
Oh, it's called Lie to Me. It came out less than a month ago. It is the story of a disintegrating marriage and the lies that we tell ourselves and each other and the public.
And tough question, what's the first section you go to when you walk into a bookstore?
Oh, I go straight to mystery, and then I circle back through fiction, and then I go to nonfiction, and then I go to YA, and I just drool. I have a pattern.
Thank you, JT.
Thank you. Good to see you guys.
Hi. Hello. Would you like to be on Facebook Live tonight?
All right.
All right, I'll give you the microphone.
Okay.
Here. Can you introduce yourself for us?
Sure, I'm Lisa Turner, and I'm here promoting Devil Sent the Rain, which is a story of the Old South and how it's affecting the New South. When I say Old South, I'm talking Mississippi Delta, plantation. The people are still around. So it's a murder mystery.
I'll ask you another question. What's a book you read that really made you want to be a writer?
All of James Lee Burke's mysteries, because he's so evocative of location, beautiful language, beautiful images, and yes, it has a lot of violence, but he just makes my heart sing. And there's always To Kill a Mockingbird.
Classic.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Enjoy your time.
Bye-bye.
We're live. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, I'm Karen Robards, and I'm here at Bouchercon in beautiful downtown Toronto and having a good time.
And can you tell us about your most recent title that readers should check out?
Oh, I just finished The Ultimatum. It came out in June. It introduces Bianca St. Ives, who is a superhero. She can do everything. I really like her. She's vulnerable, she's beautiful, and she has a secret that when she finds out about it will change her life forever. And it's about her finding that secret and what she does with it. I really like the book. I did a good job.
I'm intrigued.
It's really, it's really good. Ask an impartial source.
Okay, tough question. What's one book that you can read over and over and over again?
A Wrinkle in Time. I read A Wrinkle in Time when I was like 9 years old. I read it every few years. Love that book. I think it's great.
The movie's coming out soon.
I know, and I kind of hate to see it because if you get a bad movie, it ruins the book. But some of them are good. I thought the Hunger Games books were really, really good. I thought they did justice to the books. I mean, there are some that do.
It's a tough thing to do.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, have a good time.
I will.
You want to be on Facebook Live?
Sure.
I'll just, thank you. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Sure. I'm Elizabeth Haider. I write suspense with Mira and romantic suspense with Harlequin Intrigue.
And can you tell us about your most recent title?
Sure. On the suspense side, it's called Stalked. And my FBI profiler, Evelyn Bain, is tracking down a missing teenager who leaves behind a note that says, "If you're reading this, I'm already dead." On the romantic suspense side, it's a trilogy following 3 foster brothers who are trying to figure out what happens when their house burned down when they were children and it comes into the present.
And what's your favorite place to find reading recommendations?
Oh, that's a good one. Actually, other authors are great recommendations of books that they've loved, because they don't usually recommend themselves, and probably already read them if I'm asking them. Other authors will recommend what they like to read. So I'll ask my favorite author, if I get a chance to meet them, who do they read?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello there. How are you? Hi there.
I'll give it to you.
All right.
Can you introduce yourself to us?
Surely. Hi, I'm A.F. Brady, author of The Blind.
And can you tell us more about The Blind?
Sure. It's a psychological suspense novel based in Manhattan. Follows a psychologist named Dr. Samantha James, as she works in one of the most difficult and somewhat dilapidated mental institutions in Manhattan. And she is a fantastic psychologist. She's excellent at her job, but underneath the surface, she is slowly losing it. And as much as she does great work while she's there, she might kind of need to be institutionalized herself. And only when a new and mysterious patient gets into the institution with her and she starts working with him, his name is Richard, does she begin to explore what's actually going on with herself. And between the two of them, they end up coming through some crazy times together.
And how are you inspired to write The Blind? What gave you the idea for the story?
I myself am a psychotherapist, and I've been working in mental health facilities for about 17 years. And so through many of my experiences there and lots of the people that I've met while working there, both patients and colleagues, a lot of these stories sort of popped into my head. None of it's based on real human beings, especially not myself.
We have a special request from one of the viewers. They're wondering if you can recommend any great mystery books that you've read recently.
I will always go back to some of my favorites. Some of my favorites are going to be One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I think is timeless, and it's a read and a reread and a reread. And if you find yourself able to pick up any Agatha Christie, I'd say get them all, but if I can recommend one, it's going to be And Then There Were None. So rock on. I hope you get them, and I hope that you do enjoy them. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us on Facebook Live. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Hannah McKinnon, and Hannah Mary McKinnon, and I'm an author.
And can you tell us about your most recent title that you just finished?
Yes, so the book is called The Neighbours, and it's coming out March 13th next year. It's a domestic suspense about, imagine an ex-boyfriend moving in next door and all the secrets that could come out that you don't want to have come out. That's what it's about.
Sounds like a juicy read.
I hope so.
And tough question, when you walk into the bookstore, what's the very first section you go to?
The very first section? Probably I gravitate towards the domestic suspense arena. And if I'm with my kids, then it will be YA and middle grade. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hi. Sure.
Welcome to Facebook Live. Can you introduce yourself for us?
My name is Tom Rosenthal. I'm the author of Shining City, which is a political thriller about a Supreme Court nomination fight.
And how were you inspired to write that story?
Well, I was a journalist in Washington for about 25 years and wanted to write about why do good people keep doing bad things. People come to Washington are usually very idealistic when they arrive. They want to make the world better, and they keep getting caught in this sort of vortex where they keep doing things that end up badly. And as a journalist, you really can't figure that out because you can't be inside their heads. So really the only way I could figure out to explain why Washington doesn't work was to be in the hearts of the characters on both sides.
That's a hard thing to do.
Well, not when you're inventing the people.
And lastly, what's your favorite book that you read this year?
Wow. I would say maybe Commonwealth by Ann Patchett.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Enjoy your night. Hi there.
Hi.
Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, I'm Lynn Barclay.
And what's your most recent title?
Coming out in a couple of weeks is a book called Parting Shot. And then next year I have the book that is Noise Downstairs. Is the next one.
And can you tell us a little bit about Parting Shot?
Well, Parting Shot is kind of my final book about a place I invented called Promise Falls. I had done a trilogy about it, and I decided to do one more book that kind of wrapped up a couple of things. So but I think it'll be. The funny thing is, I think might be my best Promise Falls book, but I think it may be my last. I'm going to go in a different direction next year.
I can't wait to read it.
Thanks very much.
And lastly, what's your favorite place to discover new reading recommendations?
My favorite place to get for new reading recommendations is a bookstore, like a store like this, an independent bookstore run by someone I know and trust. Because I think hand selling and personal recommendations, I think word of mouth is what sells books always.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Enjoy your night.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us tonight at Bouchercon. Have a wonderful night, viewers and readers.